Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Today, I want to share something most men will never hear in polite company, but which every man who values his dignity, self-respect, and power must confront. A woman only truly respects you when you are willing to detach completely. This isn't about playing games or being cold. It's about embodying the ancient Stoic principle of ataraxia, inner calm, unshakable independence, and mastery of your own desires. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Modern dating culture tries to tell you that the more you sacrifice yourself, the more you pander, the more you need her, the more love you will get. But that's a lie. Women do not love neediness. They do not respect weakness, cloaked as devotion. They respond to strength, to boundaries, to the man who is so rooted in himself that he cannot be manipulated, bribed, or made to beg. Detachment is not hatred, it is self-command. It is the power of knowing that you can love fully, yet walk away if your dignity is ever threatened, that you will not crumble if she tests you, that you are enough on your own. This is ancient wisdom taught by emperors and philosophers, warriors and priests, and it is what men have forgotten in an age of cheap attention, emotional games, and false promises. Today we're going to explore this truth deeply, so you can live it. We will break it down in 4 powerful chapters. 1. Understanding women's nature and tests. 2. The power of detachment and inner calm. 3. Ancient wisdom on boundaries and masculine energy. 4. Applying it in modern dating, life with real motivation. By the end of this journey, you will have the mindset, tools, and emotional armor to command respect, not through fear, but through authentic strength. If you're ready to break free from the illusions that weaken men and to build the unshakable core that makes you magnetic, dignified, and unbreakable, then stay with me. Before we begin, drop in the comments, what is one boundary you know you need to enforce in your relationships? Share it below. Let's help each other grow stronger. Now let's get into it now. Chapter 1. Understanding women's nature and tests. Listen carefully, brother. If you want to understand why detachment earns respect from a woman, you first have to understand her nature, and this isn't about demonizing her. It's about seeing reality without illusions, because the truth is women test men constantly. Not because they are cruel or manipulative by design, but because it is biological and psychological selection at work. For thousands of years, a woman's survival and the survival of her children depended on being with a man who was capable, who was strong, who wouldn't crumble under pressure, who would hold the line. Those ancient instincts haven't gone away just because we live in an age of swiping apps and cheap words. She will test you. She will see if you get jealous easily. She will see if you collapse when she withdraws affection. She will see if you overinvest when she underinvests. She will see if you fear losing her so much that you'll abandon your own values. And here's the brutal part. If you fail these tests, if you show you are emotionally dependent on her validation, respect evaporates. Attraction dies. Why? Because you reveal that you can't lead even yourself. And if you can't lead yourself, how can you lead anything? Many men misunderstand this and become angry at women for testing them. They call it games. But those so-called games are her way of asking, can I trust this man's strength? Is he real or is he fragile? Will he hold me accountable or collapse to please me? These are unconscious questions, but they are real. This is why so many men complain that women say they want a nice guy, yet choose someone with boundaries and presence instead, because the nice guy is nice only on the surface. Underneath, he is needy, afraid to lose her, willing to betray himself to keep her. A woman respects the man who is willing to lose her rather than lose himself. That's why detachment is so powerful. It doesn't mean you don't love her. It means you don't need her to define you. Ancient Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught that you must desire nothing outside your own power. When you place your entire happiness in someone else's hands, you have already enslaved yourself. So let me tell you right now, if you want real love, you must be able to walk away. If you want her to respect you, you must respect yourself first. If you want her loyalty, you must show her your spine. When you detach, you stop chasing, you stop pleading, you stop fearing. You become the man who is unbothered, unbroken, unshakable. That is the man she tests for. That is the man she cannot help but respect. Because to a woman, respect is love. She cannot love a man she does not respect. And she cannot respect a man who cannot walk away when his standards are violated. This is the first truth most men refuse to accept. But you will not be one of those men. You will see her tests for what they are. Invitations to prove your strength. You will learn to hold the line. You will master your own desires. Because when you do, you don't lose women, you lose the wrong women. And the right woman will thank you for it. This is the first step toward commanding respect through authentic detachment. It starts with understanding her nature, respecting it, and refusing to be angry or resentful about it. Instead, you accept it, and you become the man worthy of trust, love, and loyalty. Drop a comment below. Have you ever noticed when a woman was testing your strength or boundaries? What did you do? Let's hear your experience. Chapter 2. The Power of Detachment and Inner Calm. Listen carefully, brother. If Chapter 1 was about understanding her nature, her tests, her need to feel your strength, then Chapter 2 is about building the real power that earns her respect, detachment, and inner calm. I want you to imagine this. Picture a storm raging outside your house. The wind is howling. The rain lashes the windows. Trees bend and break. But you're sitting inside by the fire, calm, warm, unmoved. This is what a woman wants to feel when she's with you. She wants to know that no matter what happens, you are the calm in the chaos, that her tests won't throw you off, that her moods won't control you, that her withdrawal won't make you grovel. Because here's the truth. When you react in fear or anger to her pulling back, she sees a man who cannot handle himself, let alone handle her. When you beg, plead, chase, blow up, guilt trip, or try to buy her love, you lose respect in her eyes. That's why detachment is essential. But let's be clear, detachment is not indifference. Indifference says, I don't care at all. Detachment says, I care deeply, but I'm not controlled. You can love a woman with your entire heart. You can give her presence, devotion, loyalty, but you do it from a place of choice, not desperation. You do it because it aligns with your values, not because you're terrified to lose her. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Detachment is that power. When you're detached, you're not cold, you're controlled. You can walk away if she disrespects you. You can say no when something crosses your line. You can endure her silence without crumbling. You can watch her test you and smile, knowing she's verifying your strength, because you are grounded. Your mood doesn't depend on her validation. Your confidence doesn't rely on her approval. Your mission doesn't get derailed by her emotions. She will sense this immediately. She will feel it in the way you hold eye contact without flinching, in the calmness of your voice when she challenges you, in the unwavering way you enforce your boundaries. And that calmness is magnetic. It tells her, I am safe with this man. He won't be shaken. He won't betray himself. He is strong enough to lead. Here's the paradox most men don't understand. The more attached you are to needing her, the more likely you are to lose her. Because neediness is repulsive. It feels like pressure, like suffocation. Women want to choose you, not be forced to prop up your self-esteem. They want to feel your certainty, not your dependence. So how do you build this detachment? You start with your mission. A man without purpose will always orbit a woman. He will make her his purpose. And she will hate that. You must have something in your life that matters more than her approval. Your work, your art, your health, your spiritual growth, your mastery. Women do not want to be your purpose. They want to join a man who has purpose, because then she knows you are stable. You also develop detachment through self-discipline. If you can't say no to your own impulses, lust, anger, jealousy, how can you hold the line with her? You must master yourself before you can lead anyone else. Finally, you build detachment through acceptance of loss. The truth is, you might lose her, but you will never lose yourself. And that willingness to lose her is what makes you so attractive, because it tells her, I want you, but I don't need you. I choose you, but I will not betray my values for you. That is irresistible. That is the man she respects, loves, and trusts. So remember this, my brother, detachment is not the absence of love, it is the presence of strength. It is the promise that you will never abandon your soul, no matter who threatens to leave. She will test that, she will demand proof of it, and when you show it, she will respect you forever. Drop a comment below. What does detachment mean to you in your own words? Let's share real wisdom with each other. Chapter 3. Ancient Wisdom on Boundaries and Masculine Energy. Welcome back, brother. If you've followed me this far, you now understand why women test men and why detachment and inner calm are your greatest strengths. But there's another piece of this puzzle you must master if you want her lasting respect. Boundaries. Boundaries are the lines you will not allow to be crossed. They are the standards you enforce without apology, and they are the essence of masculine energy. Because here's the truth, women do not want to be with a man who has no boundaries. She may act like she wants you to say yes to everything. She may even push you to see if you will. But deep down, she wants to know there is a limit, that you have the courage to say no. This is not new wisdom. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Greeks taught that a man's virtue, his arete, depended on knowing himself and living by principles. Socrates said, "Know thyself." The Stoics added, "Live in accordance with nature." What does that mean for you? It means knowing what you stand for, knowing what you will and will not tolerate, holding your frame when the world, or a woman, pressures you to compromise it. A man who cannot enforce boundaries is not trustworthy. Because if you can't say no to her when she's wrong, how can she rely on you when life tests you both? If you won't hold your own line, how will you protect hers? She may protest when you enforce a boundary. She may act upset, offended, emotional. That's part of the test. She's asking, do you have the strength to hold me accountable? Are you the man I can lean on, even when I'm not at my best? If you crumble to keep the peace, she sees you as weak. If you enforce the boundary calmly and firmly, she respects you, even if she doesn't admit it in the moment. Boundaries are attractive because they show self-respect, and a man who respects himself teaches the world how to treat him. Listen to this ancient wisdom from Confucius. Respect yourself and others will respect you. It's simple, but most men fail at it because they fear loss. They fear her leaving, so they trade respect for approval, and they pay for it in resentment, contempt, and heartbreak. But you will not be that man. You will choose self-respect over short-term comfort. Because you know that a woman cannot love a man she does not respect. Let's talk practically. If she speaks to you with disrespect, you call it out calmly. I don't allow people to speak to me that way. If she crosses a line you value, cheating, lying, insulting you in front of others, you enforce consequences even if it means ending it. If she withdraws affection to manipulate you, you don't chase. You stand firm, unbothered. If she tries to change your mission, you hold your purpose above her comfort. This is not cruelty, this is leadership. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are gates that ensure only respect and real love get in. And when you hold them, you create polarity, the masculine energy she is drawn to. The ancients understood this well. In Taoism, the yang is firm, directive, purposeful. The yin is receptive, fluid, adaptive. When you lose your boundaries, you become yin, and she loses attraction. When you hold your frame, you stay yang, and she feels safe to relax into her feminine energy. Because she knows you won't be swayed by her emotions. She knows you will protect both of you from chaos. She knows you are the mountain in her storm. This is why detachment is inseparable from boundaries. A man who is attached, desperate to keep her, cannot enforce boundaries. He will always fold. But a detached man is free to say, I want you, but I will not betray myself for you. That, my brother, is true power. It is the power of kings, emperors, warriors, and philosophers who shaped civilizations. They understood that a man's honor is non-negotiable, that a man must master himself before he can lead anyone. So let me tell you this as directly as possible. If you want her respect, enforce your boundaries. If you want her loyalty, hold your frame. If you want her love, show her your strength, even when it means telling her no. Because you are not here to be her servant. You are here to be her partner. You are not here to be her emotional crutch. You are here to be her rock. She will test you. She will resist. She may not always like it in the moment, but she will trust you. She will respect you, and she will feel safe loving you. Drop a comment below. What is one boundary you refuse to compromise in your relationships? Let's inspire each other to hold the line. Chapter 4. Applying it in modern dating life with real motivation. Welcome to the final part of this journey, brother. We've talked about understanding women's tests, cultivating detachment and calm, and enforcing boundaries as the core of masculine energy. Now let's get practical. How do you actually apply this in modern dating life? Because let's be honest, today's dating world is chaos. Apps, social media, endless options, low attention spans, fake personas, cheap validation, emotional games. It's a minefield for any man who doesn't know who he is, but for a man with presence, boundaries, and detachment, it's opportunity because you stand out immediately. Most men today are starved for female attention. They'll sell their soul for a scrap of validation. They text constantly. They chase endlessly. They collapse at the first sign of withdrawal. They become entertainers instead of leaders. And women see it. They see through the false confidence, the desperate nice guy act, the transactional mindset, and they're repelled. So your mission is to become the man who is different, the man who doesn't need her validation because he validates himself, the man who doesn't chase because he knows his worth, the man who can love her deeply without fearing her loss. Let's talk about how you do this. 1. Lead with purpose. Before you even think about dating, get your mission right. What are you building? What do you wake up for? What would you do if no one else ever praised you for it? Women want to join a man on a mission. If you make her your mission, she will lose respect. 2. Cultivate abundance mindset. Scarcity is what drives neediness. If you think she's your only chance at love, you'll tolerate anything, but the truth is, there are millions of women. When you know you have options, you don't fear losing one. You don't need to be cruel. You don't need to brag. You just calmly know, if she goes, I will be fine. I will find someone aligned with my values. 3. Master your emotions. Women test you emotionally. They want to feel your calm, your leadership, your unshakable energy. When she withdraws affection, you don't panic. When she challenges you, you don't explode. When she gets emotional, you stay grounded. This isn't coldness, it's maturity. You become the safe harbor in her storm. 4. Be brutally honest about your boundaries. If you don't want cheating, say it. If you won't tolerate disrespect, make it clear. If you need time to work, enforce it. Never assume she should know. You must communicate and enforce your standards calmly, firmly, consistently. 5. Be willing to walk away. This is the ultimate test. Can you love her and let her go if she violates your standards? Most men fail here. They think love means unconditional acceptance of disrespect. It doesn't. Real love honors both people. If she cannot respect you, leaving is the most loving thing you can do for both of you. And here's the paradox. When you have the strength to walk away, you often never have to, because she will see your worth. She will rise to meet your standard if she truly values you. 6. Embrace ancient wisdom. The Stoics taught that freedom comes from mastering desire. You cannot be free if you're ruled by needing her love. You cannot lead if you fear losing her. You must love without attachment. Desire her, yes, cherish her, but do not need her to complete you. Epictetus said, "He is free who lives as he wishes to live, who is neither compelled nor hindered nor limited." Be that man. 7. Remember, love is not slavery. True love is built on mutual respect. It is two people choosing each other freely, not from fear. She does not want to own you. She wants to admire you. She wants to trust you. She wants to know that when life gets hard, you will be the man who can handle it. And that respect is impossible if you cannot detach. So what is the result of all of this? When you live this way, you transform dating from chaos into clarity. You stop wasting time on women who want to manipulate you. You attract women who value you. You filter out the wrong ones with ease. You become the prize, not because you're arrogant, but because you know your worth. You stop chasing, you start choosing, and the right woman will see that immediately because you're not another boy playing games. You're a man living by principles. You're a man who can love her fully, but never lose himself in the process. That is rare, that is precious, and that is exactly what the Stoic Golden Tribe is about. Men who know their value, men who honor their purpose, men who can hold the line with calm, loving strength. That is who you are becoming, and I am proud to share this path with you. Drop a comment below. What is one thing you will do starting today to embody real strength and detachment? Let's motivate each other to become our best. If you found this valuable, like the video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and subscribe to join the Stoic Golden Tribe. Let's build a generation of men who are unbreakable,